Hey guys, it's Kelly. I am playing. I'm just doing playtime and thought, you know what? I think I got a plan here, so maybe I'll record it and see what happens. Who knows? We'll see. I have this little guy cut out. I've had him cut out for a long time. I try to revisit some of these things that I've colored over time, and I want to use them. And this is a cute set from Tim Holtz. It's from Sizzix, done by Tim Holtz. And it is, what's it called? Dog Talk. So it's so cute. These little dogs in there, they're so cute. It came with the stamp set, the dies, and a embossing folder. So it's such a cute little set. And I've done cards with this before. I don't know if I've recorded them, but it has the die sets, and these die sets actually cut right up to it, and they don't leave very much white room around it. And that's a Tim Holtz thing, from what I understand. He really likes to do that. I stamped and colored some extra little tennis balls in there. I might use them, I'm not sure. But here's the plan. I'll come back and revisit that, but here's the plan. I am going to use this stamp set because my challenge with these cute little critter stamps that I have a hard time grounding them. You can ground them like this example. You can get them grounded with just a sheet of paper across the front, and that's cute, but I don't know, I feel like I need to do more for some reason. So I found this on, I think I got this on Simon Says Stamp or Amazon. I'm not sure where I got it. But Inkblot Shop, there's little ways that you can ground them with wood grain. There's like wood rivets and then the brick. And I think I'm going to use the brick with the grass and use my inks to color it in a little bit. I've got these choices so far. This will be for the brick and 2 shades of the grass. Really subtle grass in there. So I'm going to use my archival ink. So I got a plan. Let's see. You know, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. All good intentions, right? So, yeah. I don't have too much time today. That is the story of my life. But I do love my hobby and my crafting that I do. It just brings me so much joy. So I don't want to ever not make time for it, you know? This is my place of zen. And I do like to share because I get the sweetest people leaving me comments. I don't get a whole lot. I don't have a huge following. But I do have somewhat of a following, and I'm grateful for it. So, yeah. Let me see. I do want it to go all the way to the end. I will trim this down a little bit, so it's really not going to be the end of the world if this doesn't go all the way through. So I'm just going to accept it. I do want it straight, though. As straight as I can get it. So we'll put it right about there. This little tea roller that I got from Simon Says Stamp is really beneficial to have for straightening things, sentiments and things. It sticks to everything, but it doesn't stick to everything. The stamps stick to it. So yeah, that is straight. And then when of course, when I try to take it off, it like sticks. So what I think I'm going to do, I don't know if this will work. I hate when you try to center something and then it sticks to your centering tool. So part of me wants to use the static pad, my anti-static tool that I have in here, to put it on there, but I'm afraid I'm going to lose all the sticky of the stamp, so I don't want to do that. Just talking through my decision to not do what I thought I wanted to do. All right, we're just going to roll with it. If it's not straight, I'm going to get over it. These things that I spend so much time on that really have no benefit. I don't know why I do that to myself, but I do. All right. Let's stamp that sucker. I'm not scared. Let's do it. I do like to use my stamping positioner because my block is literally as long as this, but I have no faith in my stamping ability to keep it good. See? There it is. That's exactly why I do what I do. So now I'm going to restamp it after I reposition it. This magnet is a pain in the butt. I do have this sticky pad. I haven't gotten used to it yet. I bought the Brutus Monroe sticky and stamp mat, and I like it. I've used it a couple times. I don't know. I'm just, it's new, so I'm not used to it yet. So I will ease into it But to ease into something on camera when I'm not comfortable with it is kind of a waste of time. So I will practice on my own time. This is video time. And it's still practice time. Who am I kidding, right? Ah, look, see, I can't stamp right. I am terrible at this. Just not as good as I'd like to be. And I think the issue is that my stamp has this bubble underneath it. I can't move it because then I will be off center here, but I will just have to give it CPR. And that's what I mean by CPR. I got this cool, this is literally just a hockey puck thing, and that helps usually. I'm not stamping it again. That worked, so that's better. Now it's really dark on one side and not on the other. But it's okay, right? If you have to stamp something 5-6 times, so freaking be it. As long as you're happy with it. I'm going to do it again. That's how I roll. I'm not playing. Even though I have a stamp position. Imagine me using a block for this. I would have stamped it like 400 times. Alright, that's going to have to do. It's not perfect, but you know what? My world is not perfect. I'm alright with it. So this right here is a laminated sheet. This is just a paper sheet that I decided to laminate. I got that idea from Jennifer McGuire, so I don't have to keep buying the papers. If I laminate it once, then I literally clean it off, and now I have the grid anytime I need the grid. So it works great. I got the grid back here that's built in. There's all kinds of things that you can give, but this is for my polymer stamps, and then I have this laminate. And it works for me, even though I have trouble stamping. I say it works for me, because I think it does. Let me live in my delusional state. Alright, take that sucker off. Put this back. It needs to dry. I used archival ink because it will not react with water, and I'm planning on coloring this with water-based ink. So, my distress inks. So that's why I made that choice. For anybody that doesn't know, archival is just the best when you're going to really get have a whole bunch of water on there. I like to use Memento for stamping. I found that to be the best for me if I'm going to use my alcohol inks. Archival does not work with alcohol inks. It will smear. I learned that the hard way. And then the other one that works pretty well is this Gina K amalgam ink. This one works okay with kind of, it depends. So this one works well with, it says alcohol markers, colored pencils, and watercolors. This one, it just make sure it's good and dry first. So I'm impatient. But the Memento has yet to fail me with alcohol inks. So FYI, just sharing that success and failures with you guys. Okay, this is also, I've shown you guys this before. It's just a 9.5 by 11 sheet of paper that I laminated, and it works. Oops, I put my magnet back. It works pretty well for me for just a palette. For inking, some for paint too, and you just wipe it off. I have other things I can use, and they're not as easy to clean as this, and when I'm really short on time, I just snatch this and just go. So it seems to work well. I'm just going to use a water brush that I've had in my stash for a while. This is a Faber-Castell one that came in a kit that I got a while ago. I forget what the kit was, but it was, I don't remember. Oh, it might have been one of my... It might have been the gelatos. I don't know. But I've had this for a while, and this is going to be quick and easy. So I'm just going to put my colors down, and I probably need a little bit more. And grab what I need and rock and roll. Super quick coloring, very imperfect, very not perfectly straight. I'm not sure about those two greens. We'll see. So I think I'll do this one first. Squeeze a little bit of water on there. So I'm just going to do the bricks really fast in this rusty hinge color. If I don't like it, like it's too orangey, it looks really orange right now. But if it's too orangey, then I can grunge it up with some vintage photo if I choose to. But I'm just doing it really rough watercolor, because it's quick and easy. That is my jam. So more water is going to dilute the color, as you just saw there. This isn't watercolor paper, so I can't soak this a lot. So I can't put a whole lot of water on there. It's going to warp a little bit. I've already accepted that. I'm okay with that. If I overdo it with the water, I will not be happy with what I get. And I like the different variations of the tones that you get, because that's how bricks are. I'm going to intentionally do that. You got to be careful though. If I add ink, that's one thing, but if I add a whole bunch of water with it, that's when I start having problems with this paper. Because this is Nina Solar White, just 90 pound. So it's only going to be able to take so much before the fibers start disintegrating. Okay. I want some darker variations randomly in there. When it dries, it'll probably look a little bit more worn, a little bit lighter, I mean. But I just want some random dark spots in there. Like anybody could do this, guys, for real. And if you don't like it, then it's not your jam, right? If you're like, oh, that looks sloppy or whatever. Okay, it's watercolor. But you know, not everybody digs it. I get it. Do you? All right, I'm actually happy with that. So I'm going to squeeze some of that water out. Clean off my water brush. Grab some green. I'm going to let this dry, because once this dries, it's permanent. This is just regular distress ink. So I'm going to give it a little bit of help here. Now the background, I might wind up cutting this out and using a different embossing folder, because this one is really cute, but I don't know if it really makes, oops, I don't want to lose that little ball. I don't know if it really makes sense with the background for this. So I don't know. I just don't think it makes sense. So I'm probably going to cut this out, because I want to have a little bit more interest in the background other than them just floating in a white space. So we'll see. Haven't decided yet. But I have some polka dots, and you can't go wrong with that. So let's see if I can highlight some of the grass here. Basically just going to put like a little shadow around the grass. And there's grass in between all of the bricks. So I think that I will just swipe it in between. Maybe this color would be better. Just so there's that little hint of green, so you can tell that those little marks right there are grass. Little weeds growing between the bricks. The stuff that you don't want when you lay bricks, but you inevitably get, right? If you guys have ever laid bricks in your homes, you know what I'm talking about. You spend all that time getting the wrapping underneath, you know, that wrapping that you put underneath when you add grass, or you add the sand, and then you put the barrier. And sure enough, it's funny, life finds a way, and it finds its way through your barrier and through all the stuff that you try to avoid having weeds show up at. So very sloppy. I just want a whisper of green in between the bricks. And I think that's what I'm getting with this technique. I'm calling this a technique. Go ahead. You can laugh. It's okay. It's not. It's a water brush and ink, and I'm just slapping it on, literally. So many of us tend to overthink what we do, and, you know, is it good enough? Is it good enough? Damn straight it's good enough. Damn straight it's good enough. Because you made it. Let it be. It's only not good enough because we do that to ourselves. Right? Let me know in the comments if you agree. We are so hard on ourselves. Why? Serves no purpose. Okay, a little more hint of green down here. And then I think I'll be, please, pleased. That's good enough. Just subtle hints is what I'm doing. Easy, easy coloring. All right. Rinse that off. Spray just a little bit of water on here. And that cleans right up. And now my palette's clean. Easy, easy. Cheap, cheap, cheap. Only cheap if you have a laminator. And laminator films, I guess. Let me just give you that little disclosure, but. All right. This makes me want to put a ladybug on this. I don't know why, but I was just thinking maybe I'll put a ladybug on here with the puppy. I don't know, we'll see. I'm not 100% crazy about the coloring I did on that one. I think it was alcohol markers when I was just learning how to use them. But I don't care. I'm going to send this card to my grandpuppy in the mail, and my granddaughter will see it. Will see that her sweet Jackson got mail, and I think that she will think that that is so cool. I was just going to have it something like this. His little ball would be there. Maybe a little ladybug. Maybe it'll take away from the focus. Really simple. See? But I do have some... I don't know if this is going to work in the background. There's only one way to know. So let's go ahead and get something. I'm just going to do it and see what it looks like. Let's figure it out. I know you guys know how to do this, but I'm going to bring it over here since I'm showing you everything. I will show you this. My big shot. I need to move that through because I don't need that one. And this is, I think this is a 3-day. Maybe not. No, it's just a regular one. So I think for this one, I can just use both of them. I just need to lift that one plate up. And that will work. So here goes nothing. I ran it through crooked, but that's okay. It's a test run. You know what? I can just leave it like this because I'm probably going to try my polka dots. Oh, that's heavy. So there is my embossed design, if y'all can see that. It's cute. It might work because Jackson's always making a mess. So I could do like yellow or brown background or blue. Let me think. I'm going to try my lightest blue, which is tumbled glass. This is so old, and it still works. I'm just rubbing it right over. I'm not scared. And I can get pretty, I don't know. I'm not pushing hard, but I'm not being too terribly gentle with it either. Oh, shoot. That was just an old frayed thing. Because again, like I said, this is a really old ink pad, but look, it's still working. It's pretty dried out. If this was a newer one, I would have to be very, very gentle. So if you have newer ones, you might want to rethink the pressure that you're adding. So... I'm digging it so far. Will it work with that? I don't know. I'm just not sure. I'm going to cut this out. This should be a little jaggedy. So with that said, I'm just going to tear it this way. So wish me luck that I don't completely destroy this. I'm going to try to at least get it a little bit. It's too thick. I don't think that's going to work well. But if I tear it, oop, if I tear it that way, that's what I want. I lost some of that, but that's okay. I'll do the same thing down here. I could score it, but I'm just not. I like that rough edge. Now I could cut it straight and then just rough up the edges, but this little teared thing, I don't know if you can see, it's like a little fluffy. It accentuates the little grass that's down there, so it's a very small detail, but I like it. Oh, please don't rip, please don't rip. I really like how you're turning out. Oh no. There we go. And I can ink the edges if I choose. So, does it work here? I'm thinking no. No, not this time. Not for the card purposes. I'll hold on to that because I'll probably use that for an art journal. But I do have some other embossing folders that I think would work great. And I think the one I want to use is just my simple polka dots. Let me see. I got big dots, and then no. I got one with has a little bit smaller dots. So let's see where if I can find that one. Should be right here. Wait, there it is. I don't know, the bigger ones, maybe the bigger ones. Don't know till you try. Just another 90-pound card panel. What with blue? He's got blue in his collar and red on his big old tongue, so I'm going to run this through my machine off camera over here on the edge. The polka dot one has this is just a staple. You should have this in your stash of embossing folders. I've got so many of them and I just don't, I think I just forget about them. But I have like, it doesn't even, I have a lot of them. I do love them. I just forget that I have them. So we'll go like that. We'll cut it all down. Little woof. There are other stamps in the set, like little bone. But I don't want to make it too busy either. So I could put a bone down there, I guess. I think Evie, my grandbaby, when she sees it, if there's a bone on there a little bit more, she might think it's even cooler. And some hearts. Yeah. Yeah. Here's my little sheet. I'll use a brick for this really quick. And I'll color it with a really, really rich red. That didn't work very well. Okay. There's that one. Clean that off. And we'll get our little bone. All right. Put that back. We'll color those. This does have that die set. So let me get those dies out. Okay. So I need red and I need like a gray. And if I remember right, I got some new, let me see. Lost Shadow. That might be good for the bone. And then Barn Door for the hearts. It's a nice rich color to go there. Okay. Let's do it. Do it in record time. This is why I love this thing. It's so easy. I might want to use Crackling Fire. Because this is really red. I think I might need a little redder. I'm not sure. Let's see. Whee. Oh, I didn't mean to just give it that much pressure. All my water came out. That's all right. I'm going to keep that ink on there because I might want to let it dry and get a little bit more. And then Lost Shadow, this is my newest color from Tim Holtz. It's a very subtle shadow. I'm enjoying it immensely. I think it's just the ticket that we were missing. That will do. Let me just blow on it. Fire Break might be better. Forgot about Fire Break. Yep, that's the one I needed. Mahogany. If you guys don't have this aged mahogany one, it's delicious. I think it might be too rich. That's my jam. I absolutely love that red. We'll add that on the shadows. Give it a little bit of depth and dimension. Already got it, but there we go. Tiny little details. Okay. All right, let me get my mint tape and get my my Big Shot situated for regular die cutting. With the right mat. Excuse me. Where's my mint tape? Is that the way that goes? Yep. Well, maybe not. That is the way that goes. And you have to get this like on point. If you don't, then you get too much white on one piece and it's annoying. Stick that down. We'll cross our fingers and make that happen. See, it's not perfect. Oh, shoot. I was still a little wet. Poor little guy. Got all squishy. Yeah, it wasn't on point, but that's okay. Where'd it go? I'm missing one. Seriously, what just happened to it? Oh, it's hanging on. Is it? No, it's not. Well, it cut 3. I'm literally only looking at 2. What happened? Is it on my board? Nope. Okay, I must have lost it in transit. Seriously, how does this happen? Here's my bone. Oh, it's so cute. Okay. Is it like attached to me? What the hell? Like, seriously, where did it go? I have no idea what happened to my little flower, my little heart. It was just here. Oh my gosh, I'll probably rewind this video and laugh at myself, I'm sure. I have to do it again. It's not anywhere here, right? Where is it? There is 3 here, but I only have 2. Are they? There they are. There they are. I'm okay. No, really, I'm all right. It's so teeny tiny, and I didn't cut it right. So yeah, I'm going to redo that. Let's have a redo because they're off center. So what I'll do is I'll cut them first. No, you can't do that with these kind of stamps. I got to stamp it first. No big deal. It's not the end of the world. Things don't always go to plan, do they? This is one thing I don't like. Why these little strings on the, why? Just figure out a way to not have that. Manufacturers. But maybe that's just the way it's got to be. I don't know. It annoys me. Put that back on my stamp set. I know you couldn't see that. These were, this big one I could probably save. And the second one, but that little one just isn't going to cut it. So let's make a mess again. And I like the 2 colors. Can't help it. Very tiny, tiny thing they color, so I really don't need very much. Put these back in my tin. There it is. You should always make sure that your ink, if you're doing it with water, is dry. For obvious reasons, but it will bleed. I definitely like it with a little less water. I do love to color with my distress inks. It's so soothing and comforting. It's forgiving as well, like as from a watercolor perspective, like when you're coloring with alcohol inks or alcohol markers. It's the same, but I don't know, this seems to be just so much easier. And again, like I said, a little bit more forgiving. But I think it's a mindset. Like I know that it's watercolor. I know that the imperfection is what makes it cool. So I think you just accept that from the start. Maybe that's why I like it. I don't know. Yeah, it's bleeding out a little bit, but that's okay. It's gonna be cut anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, I let it go a little bit too long. I'm gonna dry it. because I don't want to do it a third time. All right. I'm going to be a little bit more careful. Let me get my... Oh, come on. There we go. Little teeny tiny guy. I think I can get that on. Careful, careful, careful. Oh, that's perfect. Yay! That lined up great. That's what they're supposed to look. They're not supposed to have the white on it. So that is exactly how they're supposed to be. Oh, let me lose that thing again. It's so teeny tiny. Oops. Mint tape, I usually reuse it. I'll put that back later. Okay, so I'm kind of liking how this is going. I'm probably going to have to pop everything up a little bit. So let's get our act together here because I'm running out of time. This definitely needs to be inked, so let's just get that done. I will use Vintage Photo for that. I think I still have that out. Oh, maybe I don't. I think I had to get a new one. Nope. It's not left in there. New one it is. Yeah, that one's seen its day. It's coming apart. So I've had these for so long that they're actually disintegrating. So at some point you just gotta let go. Let go. So I gotta really, really get some ink on that. I don't want to ink it in and pull it down. I just want it barely on the outside here. You know what? I didn't cut that down. We're going to have to cut all of this down. So, that one won't work. But this one will. Don't let me lose my hearts. So we'll bring that down to 5 1/4 this way and 4 this way. And this one will come down to, I'll do 1/8 here. I could just do the whole quarter and bring that down to 4 this way. There we go. Now I can ink it. Otherwise I would ink it and cut it. That will help it a little bit. I want to tone down that white there, so I plan on doing that. Might as well do that right now. Because that was another cutting faux pas, but I was figuring it out, so. And I saved it to use later, so. Proof that when I say I'll use something later, I do. Really, I do. I don't want to waste anything. There are times. Okay, that helps. I feel a little bit better about that now. It's all about how I feel, you know. All right, so this is what I'm thinking. We'll put this little guy right there. We'll put my woof woof right here. The word woof woof right there. I might mat this with some black. He's got a cool little bone. And then we'll have the ball over here. And then we'll just randomly put some hearts. Maybe put the hearts right above his little head or in this space right here. I think I can make that work. Just happen to have a little piece of black right here. This is about 1 1/8. So if I do it at about 1 1/4, that should give me 1 1/4 by 4 strip. I got my little tiny Fiskars thing. So 1 1/4 by 4. I should have done 4 a little bit further than 4, but that's okay. It'll just be up and down. I can make that work. Okay, let's glue it. Commit. It's happening. No more hemming and hawing. And put it on here so I can see what I'm doing. I'm thinking about replacing this black thing because I have a hard time when I'm using, and I like to use dark colors a lot, especially black. So when I'm working with something that's black, I can't even see it on this stupid thing. So I like the self-healing thing. It makes sense, but I'm getting a little frustrated with it lately. And I'm thinking that a lighter thing would be better. Just like a gray. I had a gray one. I gave it to my son. I have regrets because now he wound up putting holes in it because he was doing some leather working on it. So I'll have to buy a different one. I do like my glass thing that's over to my right, my Tim Holtz glass mat. I do like that, but sometimes there's some glares on it. So that's my issue with that one. Oh, he's so cute. I need to put some things behind him so that he's lifted up a little bit. Just some, like I might cut one of him and just mat him on there. I think I'll do that. Not sure about the hearts. I like the woof. Again, it's going to a dog. Seriously, I'm sending a card to a dog. Don't judge me. It's happening. It's all for the sake of my little grandbaby thinking that it's so cool that he got mail. Hopefully I can send it to him. Like I want to send it to him and like addressed to him, even though he's not at that address because he's a freaking dog. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. That's my plan. I'm out of time. I'm going to put this on a card base, glue it all down, put it on a card base and call it done. I'll take some still pictures. Thanks for hanging with me with the video. Make sure you leave me a comment in there. Let me know if you love it, if you hate it, if you think the idea is crazy. Always love to hear from you guys. Thanks for watching. I will have a lot more to come. Please don't forget to like, comment, and share. It definitely helps my channel. With what little time I have, I still like to share. So thank you so much. Hey guys, I finished this card off camera real quick. So I wanted to share the end result. I thought it turned out pretty cute. I kind of layered this little guy up. It's all glued down. I layered the little bone and the little ball that's sitting right there. I put those hearts right around the sentiment. It says woof woof. And inked all these little ball things. I love this background. This is the bigger one. There's a smaller one too. I thought the bigger one would match better. I actually thought of stamping this little tennis ball on every single one of those. And yeah, I opted out of that. I opted out. So I think it turned out pretty cute. And then there's the inside. I always get questions, you know, well, what do you do with the inside? I had a little 1/4 inch strip that I cut when I trimmed this down. I always save those because you can use those on the inside of the card. Just matted it like I did here with some brown, matted the outside. And then I rough you. Isn't that cute? It's for my grandpuppy, Jackson. I'm going to put it in the mail to him. And I think my granddaughter, like I said earlier, I think that she is going to love it and think it's so cool that her puppy, she calls him Bubby or Bubba, that he got something in the mail. Of course, I'll be sending her a card too. But yeah, so that's the finished product. I hope you guys like it. Hopefully it inspired you to make some kind of card with some embossing folders and just a cute little design. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll have more to come.